إن الذين آمنوا والذين هادوا والنصارى والصابئين من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر وعمل صالحا فلهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. Verily all those who believed, that is, who became Muslims, who believed in Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَالَّذِينَ هَادُوا, and those who became Jews, وَالنَّصَارَى, and the Christians, وَالصَّابِئِينَ, and the Sabis. This was a different nation, and most people think they were in Iraq, and they thought they were following Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. Some say they were the people of Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam. They were following the Sharia of Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam. Wallahu alam. Nothing is known for sure. The real thing is, man amana billahi wal yawmil akhir wa amila salihan. Whosoever believes in Allah, has real faith in Allah and the day of judgment, the last day, wa amila salihan, and then he does or he did good deeds, فَلَهُمْ أَجْرُهُمْ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ, for their reward is now with their Rabb, with their Master. It is assured. Their reward is assured with their Master, with their Rabb. وَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ, and there shall be no fear upon them, and nor shall they be grieved. Now this ayah is a very controversial ayah of the Quran. Some people have inferred from this ayah that having faith in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not essential for salvation. Because here also you note that Iman bil Akhirah and Iman billah, only two basic articles of Iman have been mentioned. إن الذين آمنوا والذين هادوا والنصارى والصابئين من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر وعمل صالحا فلهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. But actually it's a big mistake to argue in that way, because here you refer to the section number 6 of this very surah. This whole discussion starts with an invitation to the Jews to believe in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it is as if, you know, in arithmetic there is sum which is outside the brackets, and it is multiplied by all the quantities that are within the brackets. Here actually this whole discussion is governed. It will be at every moment, at every place, it will be multiplied by the contents of those 7 ayat which came in the beginning. That is why there is a very close similarity between this bracket, the word I am using, because the 2 ayat with which this discussion has now started, Ya Bani Israel askuru ni'mati allati an'amtu alaykum wa anni faddaltukum ala al-alamin wattaqu yawman la tajzi nafsun an nafsin shay'a wa la yuqbalu minha shafa'atun wa la yukhadhu minha 'adlun wa la hum yunsarun. The same 2 ayat will come in the beginning of section 15. Ya Bani Israel askuru ni'mati allati an'amtu alaykum wa anni faddaltukum ala al-alamin. The same 2 ayat. What does it mean? The bracket starts with these 2 ayat and brackets end with those 2 ayat. And before this bracket are the 7 ayat of section 6. And you know the main theme of that section is وَآمِنُوا بِمَا أَنزَلْتُ مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا مَعَكُمْ وَلَا تَكُونُوا أَوَّلَ كَافِرٍ بِهِ وَلَا تَشْتَرُوا بِآيَاتِي ثَمَنًا قَلِيلًا وَإِيَّايَ فَاتَّقُونِ يَا بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ اذْكُرُوا نِعْمَتِيَ الَّتِي أَنْعَمْتُ عَلَيْكُمْ وَأَوْفُوا بِعَهْدِي أُوفِ بِعَهْدِكُمْ وَإِيَّايَ فَارْهَبُونِ. So basic subject is the call to the Jews to believe in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Quran. Now that common factor has been taken out, outside the bracket. It is not being repeated everywhere now, but it is governing the whole passage, the whole address that is commanding, and that is governing the whole passage, and that is actually the meaning. Now if we gaze our eyes and fix our gaze on this ayat, what does it mean? It means that at the time of every ummah, there was a time when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not born. Up till that time, the ummah was Nasara. Whosoever Christian at that time believed in Allah and the Akhirah and did good deeds, well, his reward is assured with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is safe, he will get the reward. Before Hazrat Masih alayhi salatu wasalam, it was the days of the prophethood and messengerhood of Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. Any Jew who actually believed in Allah and Yawm Akhirah, and he was doing the deeds, well, his reward is also ensured. So actually this pertains to the periods from every ummah. Only belonging to an ummah is not decisive in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because you are a Jew. Even in the days before Hazrat Masih alayhi salam, if there was a Jew, if he was not doing good deeds, if he didn't have real belief in Allah, well, his deeds were meaningless in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he had no position. Even for the Muslims today. If we only profess to believe in Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, this is the era of Muhammad now. After the advent of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, everybody has to believe in him. But only believing in him doesn't mean anything. Unless we really believe in Allah, unless we really believe in the day of judgment, unless we really believe in the hereafter, unless our good deeds are there, and they are just, rationally proportional to our beliefs and our professions, then actually, unless these things are there, being a Muslim, being counted a Muslim in this world doesn't mean anything on the day of judgment. So this is the essence of this ayah. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَالَّذِينَ هَادُوا وَالنَّصَارَى وَالصَّابِئُونَ مَنْ آمَنَ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا فَلَهُمْ أَجْرُهُمْ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ وَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَكُمْ وَرَفَعْنَا فَوْقَكُمُ الطُّورَ. And remember, when we took the covenant from you, and we raised the mount over your heads, فَوْقَكُمُ الطُّورَ فَخُذُوا مَا آتَيْنَاكُمْ بِقُوَّةٍ. Again it's a miracle. When the Torah was given to Moses alayhi salatu wasalam, when he came to his people again, then he saw that people had started worshipping calf. Then as we have read, the punishment was done, and that punishment was carried out. Then again, Hazrat Moses took alayhi salatu wasalam with him 70 people. They went again to the Tur, and there they repented before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and now they made a firm covenant with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now to have that covenant very serious, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raised the mountain over their heads. These miracles were happening then, at that time. But from the time of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, now the miracle is only this Quran. It's the intellectual miracle, and not a miracle seen by these eyes or heard by these ears. Not sensual miracles, but actually now the miracles are intellectual miracle, and that is Quran. But before that, we may say that was the infancy of mankind. And so these miracles were shown to them. But with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and this ummah, not such miracles. But you have to understand, and you have to follow, and you have to act, and you have to act through accepting all the hardships of this world. And then you have to fulfill your duties. وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَكُمْ وَرَفَعْنَا فَوْقَكُمُ الطُّورَ خُذُوا مَا آتَيْنَاكُمْ بِقُوَّةٍ. Hold fast to what we have given to you. وَاذْكُرُوا مَا فِيهِ. And remember whatever is there in it. That means Torah. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So that you are saved from the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are saved from His displeasure. You are saved from His punishment on the day of judgment. ثُمَّ تَوَلَّيْتُم مِّن بَعْدِ ذَلِكَ. But then you turned away after this. After making that covenant, well, your deeds and actions were to the contrary. فَلَوْلَا فَضْلُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ وَرَحْمَتُهُ. Had there been no grace and mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala over you, لَكُنْتُم مِّنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. You would have been among the losers long ago, long before. وَلَقَدْ عَلِمْتُمُ الَّذِينَ اعْتَدَوْا مِنْكُمْ فِي السَّبْتِ. And you know very well, those of you from you who transgressed the matter, the law of Sabbath. Now this was a very hard law in the Sharia, and that was that this Saturday, this Yawm al-Sabt, actually to them also this Friday was given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But they themselves preferred from Friday, and they chose Saturday. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided it for them. Well, this is the sacred day for you. You can't do any worldly work, any work of earning anything. This whole day is reserved for remembering Allah, for reading Torah, for zikr, for salah, for prayers, and so on. No work can be done. But there was a tribe of theirs which was on the seashore at Aqaba. This is a famous place now. That tribe that lived at Aqaba. And catching fish was their profession. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested them. The details will come inshallah in Surah Al-Araf. So here we don't have time to go into detail. but they transgressed the law of Sabbath. And you know very well, those amongst you who transgressed the law of Sabbath, we said to them, Kulu qiradatan khasiin. As a punishment we said to them, be monkeys. Be you monkeys, despised and rejected. فَجَعَلْنَاهَا نَكَالًا لِمَا بَيْنَ يَدَيْهَا. And we made this punishment an example for the people who were present before them and people who came after them. People who were their contemporaries, they knew that this nation, this tribe of ours has been given this worst punishment in the earth. So that they became an example. An exemplary punishment was given. So we made them an example for people who were with them, present at that time, and people who were coming after them. وَمَوْعِظَةً لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. And it became a lesson and a sermon for people who have any fear of God. وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُكُمْ أَن تَذْبَحُوا بَقَرَةً. Another incident, a very interesting incident indeed. And remember when Moses said to his nation, to his people, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُكُمْ, verily Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala demands from you, أَن تَذْبَحُوا بَقَرَةً, that you sacrifice a cow. قَالُوا أَتَتَّخِذُنَا هُزُوًا. They said, do you make fun of us? Because there was the germ that they thought that cow is sacred. Now they were being tested on that account. So they wanted to just somehow get away from this. So they said, do you want to make fun of us? أَتَتَّخِذُنَا هُزُوًا. قَالَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ أَنْ أَكُونَ مِنَ الْجَاهِلِينَ. Musa said, alayhi salatu wassalam, I take refuge with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from becoming among the Jahileen, from those people who are ignorant and foolish. That you don't expect this, that I can make fun of you. I am the messenger of Allah, I am his prophet. You know it very well, you believe in me. And then you are saying that I am making fun of you. قَالُوا دُعُ لَنَا رَبَّكَ يُبَيِّنْ لَنَا مَا هِيَ. They said, call your Lord. He should explain for us what type of a cow he wants. What type of a cow he wants that should be sacrificed. قَالَ إِنَّهُ يَقُولُ إِنَّهَا بَقَرَةٌ لَا فَارِضٌ وَلَا بِكْرٌ. Moses said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, it should be a cow which is neither too old nor too young. أَوَانٌ بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ. Between the two, in between, someone in between. Neither too old nor too young. فَفْعَلُوا مَا تُؤْمَرُونَ. Now do what has been commanded to you to do. قَالُوا دُعُ لَنَا رَبَّكَ يُبَيِّنْ لَنَا مَا لَوْنُهَا. They again said, again call your Rabb, your Lord. He should explain to us what should be the color of the cow that we should sacrifice. قَالَ إِنَّهُ يَقُولُ. Moses said, Allah says, إِنَّهَا بَقَرَةٌ صَفْرَاءٌ. There should be a cow which is yellow colored, فَاقِعٌ لَوْنُهَا, bright in its color, لَوْنُهَا تَسُرُّ النَّاظِرِينَ, pleasing to the beholders. Whosoever sees, he is pleased to see it. Very shining yellow color.